The skies above Eris Prime burned blue and gold as human transports fell from orbit, unarmed, unarmored, carrying only colonists and hope. They were scientists, farmers, and engineers. Settlers granted permission by the Galactic Council to develop the mineral-rich world after decades of negotiation. Humanity had abided by every clause, every bureaucratic demand of that self-proclaimed enlightened body. But on the 17th day of settlement, as dawn broke over crystalline oceans, a fleet descended. They came without warning. The Valnari Dominion, a proud reptilian empire and founding member of the Council, accused humanity of trespassing on ancestral territories. Their warships, sleek, angular, shimmering with plasma heat, hovered above the colony like executioners. The human governor transmitted pleas of recognition. This world was granted by the Council Charter, Section 14, Article 8, "Please, we are under their protection." The Valnari's reply came not as words, but as fire. Orbital lances tore through the atmosphere. Cities turned to glass, oceans boiled. 1,000,000 souls, fathers, mothers, children, vanished in a single hour. And as the last transmission escaped the planet's dying air, the Valnari commander broadcast a message to the Council. His tone was amused, disdainful, dripping with the arrogance of species who thought themselves eternal. The humans forget their place. Perhaps this will remind them. They build where they are told, and kneel where they are permitted. The Council will understand. The Council understood nothing, Vasteus. The mockery of Plea Earth's envoy stood before the Grand Council 2 weeks later, surrounded by towering aliens beneath the glittering dome of the Hall of Accord. Ambassador Elias Chen, human, small among giants, presented the recordings. The vaporized colony, the laughter of Valnari officers, the screams caught in transmission static. He spoke not with anger, but restraint. 1,000,000 civilians murdered under your laws of peace. You must act. You must hold them accountable. A silence filled the hall, broken only by the rustle of alien robes and the hum of translators. Then came laughter. Soft at first, then swelling, a chorus of derision from the Valnari delegation, echoed by their allies. The Valnari High Speaker tilted his scaled head. You humans come before the Council as if you are equals. You trade trinkets, colonize scraps, and think yourselves a power. You are children pretending at empire. Your colony was a trespass. Be grateful we leave your homeworld intact. Chen stood firm. You approved our charter. You signed the permits. The Council seal bears your name. The Speaker bared his teeth. Then the Council will erase it. And they did. By unanimous vote, the Council rescinded humanity's rights to expansion, declared the Aris Charter an error of bureaucracy, and dismissed the human envoy from the chamber. As Chen turned to leave, one voice called after him, from the Zathari delegate, a mantis-like creature with translucent eyes. You should not threaten those who keep you alive, human. You have your blue world. Stay there, and we may forget this insolence. That night, footage of the session spread across every human channel. Billions watched as the galaxy mocked their grief. And far beyond the diplomatic theaters, in the silent orbital stations of Sol Command, something ancient stirred. 3. The silence before the storm for 1 month. Earth was quiet. Trade ships moved as usual. Ambassadors bowed and smiled. The Council believed humanity had accepted humiliation with the docility of herbivores. Yet on the far side of the moon, vast shipyards went dark. No signals, no transmissions, just silence. Behind coded firewalls, entire orbital rings vanished from public registry. The Terran Strategic Command initiated Protocol Revenant, a contingency thought myth by most of the galaxy. Hidden beneath Jupiter's storms, fleets that had not been seen since the War of the Rim reactivated. Machine corps blinked awake after decades of sleep. Black-armored crews walked silent corridors beneath banners long forgotten. United Earth Naval Force. Admiral Harlan Voss, commanding the Sol Vanguard, stood at the helm of the dreadnought Invictus. For every world they burn, we'll return the fire 100-fold. No warnings, no mercy. Across the system, engineers whispered prayers over reactors as ships came online. The Nemesis-class battle platforms, capable of rupturing moons, turned their cannons outward. Humanity spoke no threats. Humanity sent no envoys. Humanity simply vanished, withdrawing from all Council channels. And the galaxy mistook that silence for surrendered the mockers. Feast the Valnari celebrated. On their capital world, under the emerald spires of Kator, nobles drank crystalline wine and toasted their victory over the ape race. With the execution of humanity's envoy, publicly denounced and recalled, was broadcast across their territories as proof of dominance. Their high speaker addressed the Dominion. Let this be known, the humans are pacified. Their colonies will kneel or they will burn. The Council stands with us. The Council stood indeed, watching from their marble halls, satisfied that balance was preserved. The younger species had been put back in its place. But somewhere in the dark between stars, human ships slipped from silent warp, cloaked in gravitic shrouds. No transponders, no signals, only purpose. The Valnari continued their revels. Their fleets patrolled lazily, confident no one dared cross their borders. And then, one night, their moons vanished. The awakening of retribution, the sea. Valnari first noticed something was wrong when their outer defense stations stopped responding. Then their trade convoys disappeared. A week later, a border world sent a panicked transmission. Dark shapes in the void. Too many to count. No identification. They're jamming all channels. Wait. Silence. On the council floor, chaos erupted as reports flooded in. Valnari worlds darkened, fleets missing, orbital arrays gone offline. The Valnari high speaker demanded emergency intervention. It is piracy. It must be the Trelec or the Shrith. But then came the broadcast. Simple, untraceable, in every language across the stars, a human voice, calm, controlled, cold. This is not a warning. This is consequence. You burned our world. You mocked our dead. Now you will understand what it means to awaken Earth. And across the galaxy, stars flickered as the Armada of Sol revealed itself. Thousands of ships emerged from subspace, formations like blades of light, dreadnoughts kilometers long, carrier fortresses carrying legions of automated warforms. Where they passed, comms died. Nav beacons shattered. Worlds vanished from maps. They did not demand surrender. They simply advanced. Siu. The Armageddon of Kotor, the Valnari gathered their armadas, the greatest military force the Council had ever known. 4,000 warships, 10 planetary shields, and orbital citadels the size of continents. They were ready. They would teach the humans their mistake. They never saw them arrive. The humans didn't travel through normal space. They folded it. One moment, the skies above Kotor shimmered with starlight. The next, they were gone, replaced by the shadow of a fleet so vast it blotted out the sun. Each Terran ship bore no insignia, no name, only matte black hulls streaked with the glow of fusion scars. From orbit, the Invictus descended into view. Its main cannon rotated toward the Valnari capital, the weapon's heart glowing like a newborn star. Valnari transmissions screamed through the ether. We surrender! Ceasefire! Council orders! But humanity had stopped listening to the Council long ago. Admiral Voss's voice echoed across every frequency, calm and final. You called us children. You burned our homes. You mocked our plea. Now you will see what your laughter bought. The sky split. Orbital lances as wide as mountains fell upon Kotor. Shields disintegrated. Seas turned to vapor. Cities became shadows of glass. When the first wave ended, the planet was half molten, the other half buried in storms of ash. The Valnari fleet tried to retaliate, but human warships moved faster, fought smarter. Each strike precise, surgical, annihilating entire formations before they could lock weapons. Within 4 hours, the Valnari dominion ceased to exist. 7th. The fall of the Council met in panic. Species that had mocked humanity now begged for their mediation. Worlds that had sneered at human weakness hid behind their planetary shields, praying Earth would not notice them next. They sent transmissions, pleas for truce, offers of reparations, empty words of peace. None were answered. Instead, one by one, the Council's great stations went dark. Their fleets, once symbols of galactic order, found their systems paralyzed. Their AIs corrupted by code signatures labeled only Project Revenant. Within days, humanity held the skies above the Council's core world. Ambassador Chen, once dismissed and laughed out of this chamber, appeared again, projected in holographic form before the terrified assembly. You could have prevented this. We came to you for justice. You gave us mockery. Now your judgment is irrelevant. Behind him, the shadow of Earth's fleet hung like a black crown above the Council's seat. One of the elders, voice trembling, whispered, "What? What do you want?" Chen's eyes were cold. "Nothing. We've already taken what we came for. Balance." Then the transmission ended. When the Council delegates looked outside, the human ships were gone, leaving behind only silence and a dying moon, shattered as a reminder. 8. The silence that followed. Weeks later, the galaxy still burned. Valnari space was unrecognizable. Entire systems erased, colonies turned to dust. In the ruins of their empire, refugees whispered stories. Some claimed humanity unleashed machines that devoured metal and bone alike. Others swore they saw Terran Marines, ghosts in armor, walking the wreckage, collecting relics, and leaving silent.